going on, everybody? Today I'm going to show you how to add more motion and energy to your footage using After Effects. This effect is very easy to do and it's going to give your footage a more dynamic feel. You can apply this to tripod and handheld footage. This is what I do a lot, especially when I don't know what to do with the footage if it's not flowing right, and it definitely helps every time, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Alright, we're in After Effects. We're going to keep this pretty simple, and I'm going to show you some very basic ways to add motion and energy to your footage. So first, what I like to do is I like to go over here into transform, go to your clip here. You can do it multiple ways, or another way to do it is going into transform and dragging that onto your clip here. That's another way of doing it, but I like doing it with just the transform here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off at the beginning. We're going to scale up our image. Now I'm going to add keyframes to position and scale, and we're going to go to the end and hit reset. So now we've created a basic zoom out, very simple. And you can go ahead, and what I like to do is keyframe assistant and easy ease these right here. All right. And now what we can do is maybe every few frames, we can slide it around. Kind of creates a little bit of motion going on here, and it'll automatically reset to what we had it to. So we play it back. And what I like to also throw on is motion blur. This is something that I like to apply to pretty much everything that I work on in After Effects. Just adds that nice subtle motion blur look to it, especially if I'm doing intense movement, and it really sells it and gives it a really cool look. Now I'll go over here to this clip. We'll just zoom in on this one, and we're gonna hit keyframes on position and scale. I'm gonna zoom in all the way to where I want it to be. So as I come back to the beginning of the clip, so now I can even move it around ever so slightly. So that is pretty sick. So now what we're gonna do, keyframe, easy ease, and let's throw on some motion blur. Now we can see what we get here. And as you can see, it's messing up right here, so I'm just gonna turn it off. Maybe I'll increase the scale just a tad bit, and I'll just push it aside a little bit. And we can drag these behind, so it keeps going into the next clip. And I'll just slide it over. Sometimes that happens, and you just slide it over so it doesn't show the blank background. Now this next clip, we can add a little bit more motion and make it crazy. He's turning up right here in this clip, so we will go ahead, zoom in. Maybe I'll find a spot over here, just to give you guys an example of how I like to go about this. So here we got position and scale. I kind of zoomed in right here. I'm gonna go all the way to the end, and let's reset that right there. Awesome. So slowly zooms out. Cool. So what we can do is, as it's coming in, go a couple frames, snap it over back to our artist. It's gonna be boom. Maybe bring it a little bit closer, and just kind of get crazy with it. So now we're going to keyframe these. I like to throw easy ease, and we'll throw some motion blur on here and see what we get. That's honestly looking really sick, minus that. So what we can do to correct that is drag that back over, and we will go over here and bring that back. Maybe scale it in just a tad bit. And usually I just mess around with the frame. And so it takes kind of like figuring out the keyframe. Sometimes it can throw it off a little bit, and really just mess around with the scale and position so it fits the frame properly. And we got a pretty good look here. So this is pretty sick. Adds some extra motion to it, keeps the energy going. Maybe here we can mess around with this, scale it in. And we'll go back over here. Maybe we'll reset it here, so it's pretty quick. And that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and easy ease that. And yeah, just messing around with the position of it, you can kind of create some unique looks. You can even build transitions out of this into the next clip. You know, we'll go over here. Oh, we got that going. Quick movement. I'm gonna throw easy ease on there. I'll throw a motion blur on there. And maybe we can make it zoom back in real quick. And then we can make it zoom out a little bit. Started zooming in midway through, punch back in, add some extra motion side to side. We can swing back over here and right into the next clip. And obviously you can time it better and incorporate these movements to swing into the next clip. And I'll also make a tutorial soon on how to build this out for transitions and keeping it nice and cohesive in between clips. So here we're gonna increase the scale. Maybe we'll add it up here. Position, scale, add those keyframes, bring it back a little bit. Maybe we'll start halfway, hit reset. Boom. So now it goes from there, here. Maybe in between we can whip it right over. Swing it this way. Maybe we can bring the last two keyframes further in. And let's hit easy ease. And let's add motion blur. So we've gotten a pretty sick look here. I try to keep it as simple and basic as possible, so that way you guys can go ahead and start messing with it in your own project and see what looks you get. You can always experiment with it and build onto it. I will be dropping more videos on creating motion using other techniques, but I really enjoy using this because there's so much you can do. It adds so much more depth and motion and energy to it, and you can really do quite a bit with it. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next one.